Hello, guys. I thought I'd go live. I haven't went live in a long time. So I thought that I would do it tonight since we were stuck in this city in Newcastle. So I thought that I would do a video talking about solitary like witchery. So and why people choose that as opposing to other different forms of witchcraft. Hello, everybody. I hope you guys can hear me well. Hi. All right. So let me just start off by saying that witchcraft is a way of life for individuals, not the masses, and there's no point in you coming towards the craft if you are going to be afraid, if you are going to be a follower, if you're going to be a coward, a fool, thin skinned, um, not able to stand on your own 2 feet. Sorcery is both a practice and it's also a priesthood. Okay? And it's not a piece of clothing that you can put on or take off when it suits you or when it fits you or when times get tough or the road gets hard or whatever the case may be. This is not witchcraft. Hello, guys. Witchcraft is, you have to really be chosen for it. And once you choose to accept the path of it, then you have to accept the good, the bad, and everything that comes along with it. Um, Hello. So I decided to talk about some different um, types of witches or witchery. And then I'm going to specifically talk about being a solitary witch, which most of us are solitary witches. Thank you. Thank you. The first one that I'm going to talk about, and these are like some more common witcheries. Peace to you. um, the most common witch that you have or witchery that you will have or that they talk about a lot now. They have a I think they have labeled them now because when I was growing up, my mother, um, my mother really didn't have, she didn't really have a name. It was just, she was a practitioner or she worked roots. That's what she said. She worked roots. So she really didn't have a particular name. And it really wasn't until the last maybe 4 or 5 years that I've even called myself a witch because I never really called myself that before, but that seems to be the title that everybody uses now. Yeah, I'm a witch. I'm a witch. I'm a badass witch. You know what they say. And so I decided to like talk about that, if that's okay with you guys. Um, for me, being a solitary witch, because that's what I've been the majority of my life. When I practiced on and off, I never really, I never really worried about anybody else. I never really even planned really to come out. I never really planned to come out. I was never my intention to come out, especially not like this. Um, But shit, we never know really what destiny has aligned for us at times. You know what I'm saying? We just have to go along with it, you know. Um, we all have a price that we have to pay, you know. Nothing comes to the meek. Nothing comes to the meek. But one thing I will say, always be your own person in your witchery. Never be a follower. That's why I tell you all the time to research, to study. Even the Bible says you have to show yourself approved. This applies to witchcraft too. You have to study, you have to research, you have to take notes, you have to do the work. And a lot of times, a lot of new witches that come in, they don't do that. Or they read one book or they didn't Google some stuff and they ready to work. And it should not be like that. It shouldn't be like that. I don't think I ever did spell work for anybody before I truly think it out and process it out. And a lot of people these days, unfortunately, they're not doing that. You know, they're not doing it at all. They done read a couple of books and they done took some notes on some stuff. They done watched a couple of videos and they ready to do some work. I'm always very cognizant about doing work for people. That's why you should consult with them and find out what's going on and stuff like that if you're going to be a worker. Because just because you're a witch doesn't mean that you have to be a worker. You know what I'm saying? You could do it for yourself and by yourself and for nobody else. Um, so with that being said, I'm going to go into a little detail about the different types of witches. And they never really had all this before, or if they did, they didn't talk about it. So for me, this is pretty interesting to see how the craft has really grown over my lifetime. Because I can remember, hey guys, I can remember when I was a child watching my mom, I was almost embarrassed. I was almost embarrassed by the way she dressed, by the way she wore her hair. I was almost embarrassed because people, they always question what she was. And now it is so open and everybody does and everybody talking about it. And it's like not a big deal. And I remember like people would make fun of my mom and my mom took that shit. Now I will say that my mom was very, a homebody type of person. She would go to the store and stuff like that. And she's like, she walked and she had these blinders on. Like she just, you couldn't phase her. And I used to be like, man, don't drop me off in front of the school. Like, shit, please don't come in here. But now, me being walking in my own right, and I'm open in public with mine. So they really like tripped me out. How did she used to dress? She used to make her own like dashikis and her own like dresses and stuff like that. And then she would make huge long ass fucking, I swear they were sheets, and she would tie 'em and make dresses and, you know, hair wraps. I didn't understand any of that. And I was embarrassed. You know, I was like really, really embarrassed because nobody else, you talking about, I was born in 79. So you talking about somebody being in the 80s and then in the 90s, they didn't dress like that. You know what I'm saying? No, she didn't. My mother kept almost like a bald head, kind of like this. She didn't really have any hair. And then there were some times that she would be bald as well. So that's kind of like what I kind of grew up around, you know. My mom, to everybody else, my mom dressed weird, and, you know, she was a lady with all the damn potted plants and shit outside. And my mom used to have these beautiful rose bushes that would go down the side of the fence. My mother was a Leo, and people would go and try to pick her rose bushes, And you would see them always get stuck. I swear I think she enchanted those damn rose bushes. So if people tried to pluck the roses off of them, that they would fucking hurt their finger pricked. Like, I really believe she did that. But and my mom fed those rose bushes, and they would be like so fucking beautiful, and like this dark, beautiful red. But like real shit, I really think she did that. Like, I really do think that. But that's what I grew up in. My mom in the backyard, we had our house, a little frame house. It sit on like a half an acre of land. Would you consider that like a half an acre or almost a half an acre, Damon? My mom and them old house?
Yeah, it's about 3/4 of an acre.
3/4 of an acre. Okay. Um, yeah, okay. So in the way that the backyard was set up, there was like one backyard that was connected to the house, and then there was like another backyard like in the back of that led to the alley. And she would grow all kind of herbs and onions and tomatoes and cabbage. She had such a green thumb. She had such a green thumb. Me, I have a hard time growing shit. I kill every fucking thing, pretty much. I'm getting better at it though. I'm getting better at it though. But that's that's how she was. And I guess that now you would probably call her what they call a green witch. And a green witch is like a practitioner. And if y'all looking at the glare, it's because I have like my camera set up where it's on my laptop that's in my lap. So it's not like because y'all analyze every motherfucking thing. Y'all break shit down in the video. I could tell it was 68 degrees in the room by the way that she held herself together, and the way her in the way her t-shirt was on her body. You know how y'all like to analyze and break shit down. So let me just explain what the glare is. It's because I have one of those little things that you have in your car that you could put your phone in. I have it on my screen so it can hold up so I can have a conversation with y'all. Because it took 30 damn hours to download 2 fucking videos that I did. But I'm just saying, that's how some of y'all are. Y'all are so fucking deep. You know what I'm saying? I could tell that she was in a room that she probably paid $59 a night for. You know how y'all do. You know how y'all do. So I just thought that I would explain that so that y'all would know, right? I said y'all. So anyway, my mother was considered, I guess, is reference to a lot of things. She was like a green witch and a solitary witch, but she was like a green witch because most practitioners of witchcraft, they kind of focus on natural items in the places. And like the goal of a green witch is like to like grow things, like they're similar to like what they call kitchen witches. That's always in the kitchen brewing something, which that's what the fuck she did too. She made elixirs. She made potions and shit. She made her own soaps. She made fucking deodorant. Like she made deodorant with cornstarch and stuff like that. And essential oils. My mom pretty much made every fucking thing that she used. She didn't really buy nothing. She didn't trust shit. She didn't trust people making soaps for her. She thought that they was after her. Like my mama was so eccentric in everything else. She was like out there. Like you couldn't even have a conversation with her about anything that we consider normal because she would go 1 to 100. You'd be like, girl, come on back. That's all right. Never mind. Let's talk about something else. Because I can't. I don't want to talk about that with you. So anyway, she was. She was. No games. No games. Because like, believe it or not, to me, if you are not practicing, or if you're not in a coven, or if you're not like in a group of witches, everybody's a solitary witch, really. If you learning on your own and you really doing things on your own and you're not really, everybody, but they have hereditary witches and kitchen cottage witches and secular witches. They have all kind of names and stuff like that. But me, I'm just going to really talk about and focus on a solitary witch. And that's just one who practices alone, without family, in a group, without a following of any particular tradition. Um, Sometimes they are among like a class of like natural witches, when they are individually sold and practiced with the craft. Um, Knowledge is like reawakened, you know. So I think that that's what I am. I always have people now to ask me, well, what do you practice? Well, what do you call yourself? I'm a solitary witch. I'm a solitary witch. I like all facets of witchcraft. I like all facets. I don't discriminate on anything. Satanic witch, I love the theory and I love left hand magic. I love it all. And I think that today, oh, thank you. Somebody gave me a little donation. Thank you. Thank you, Scholar Insane. Thank you. And a 111. Okay. All right. So I think that, right. That exactly. She said that's how I am. If it's something I can use, I use it. I think the great thing about today's age is that we have so much information. The flip side to that is that we have so much information. And if you're new, it's really hard to discern what's good, what's not, what applies, what don't, because some people just don't know. And nobody, there's really not, and that's the thing too about witchcraft or the craft, is that it's a combination of things. I had somebody say, "What are you Wiccan? Or you do voodoo? You do hoodoo?" I'm just like this. This is why. Let me go back. This is what made me want to write a book. I'm not saying that I'm the end all to be all, because I don't know everything. I do not claim to know everything. I'm still learning myself. It is so much knowledge out here. And just when you think that you know some more shit, you don't. Because there's always going to be somebody that know more than you. There's always going to be somebody that's technically more gifted than you. There's always going to be somebody. So you can't never... Oh, thank you, Kathy. And thanks to Miss Valerie Love, too. I need to call her back. I will be home next week, so I will call her. We're supposed to be doing a video together. So yeah. But it's so much information out there. It's very hard nowadays just to say that you're one particular thing. Because I mean, the thing about this is you're not in a box, which means you are open to do whatever it is that you want to do. And it's really not anybody else's business what you do or how you do it. I love Wiccan. I love Wicca. I love it's because Wicca is an earth-based religion, and it teaches you about the elements. It teaches you how to connect to the elements. You have to be multidimensional. You have to be multifaceted. That's what it calls. Then you do have your voodoo. You do have your hoodoo. My goodness, do you have your Latin magic? Like your yes, I can say this. There's so many things you can be whatever the fuck you want to call yourself today. Long as you had a knowledge to back it up. But you can be whatever you want, and it's totally okay. I'm never going to say I'm one particular thing. I'm never going to say, "Oh, I do voodoo and that's all I do," because that's not all I do. That's not all I believe in. This is not Christianity. Christianity boxes people in. And it says that you have to believe in God and that Jesus was the Son of God. And this is not what the craft is. And people have to remember that as well, that you have the freedom to be whatever you want. Long as only thing I ask is that you study for you, that you get it for you. Don't follow anybody. Follow yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you do your research, you do the work on yourself, you won't doubt you. You would trust yourself. You would trust your judgments. You would trust your spirit guides to lead you on the right path. Because at the end of the day, you are your own greatest tool. It's you. Everything else, candles and herbs and crystals and Anyway, crystals is a secular witch. They're the one who uses like crystals and herbs and stones. Okay. So that's what I want you guys to understand. Voodoo literally means God. Did y'all know that? Like voodoo literally means God. So I want you guys to like be encouraged and don't get so caught up in all of this information out there because it's out there, but take it and sift it like flour and wheat and get what you need out of it. Use what applies to you at the time because wherever you are at this time, next year, you might be somewhere totally different. Can you be a Christian witch? Oh, thank you. They old now, but absolutely you can be a Christian witch. Absolutely. I love the Bible. I use Psalms in my work. I use Proverbs in my work. I even use scriptures from Isaiah in my work. I also use scriptures from Deuteronomy in my work. I also use scriptures from Numbers in my work. I also use the Songs of Solomon in my love work. Listen, you have to take what you can out of everything else in life and use what applies to you. That is what the craft is for. It's to invoke you. It's to make you better. You should be using magic in your everyday life. You should be using magic. You should have some type of ritual in your everyday life. I love witchcraft, but I'm not going to put my Bible down either. So, with that being said, people can say what they want to. People can be. My only thing is never limit yourself based off another person's opinion of what they think they know about you. Never do that. Never do that. You be the author of your own book, the author and the finisher, as they say. I know I am. As many witches and stuff that's on YouTube and stuff like that, I have respect for them all. Even if they don't agree with my opinion, even if they don't like me, even if they don't give a damn about me, or they think that I'm fake, or they think that I'm not a real person, or they think whatever the case may be, I still respect everybody that walks this path. And I don't give a damn who they are. And I'm not going to sit up and allow anybody to speak on me or to speak on my craft or to speak on my level or whatever. I'm not going to ever do that and let that affect me. And you shouldn't either. I'm trying to read some of this stuff that's on here. So you shouldn't either. You should always be encouraged. Encourage your fucking self. You know, the only thing that gets me about a lot of new witches is that you want people to do stuff for you to make it easy for you. But those who have been doing the work, whether big or small, we understand that it doesn't work like that. You have to get it on your own. Even purchasing work or letting a worker work for you, you still have a responsibility to your own work. Now, I'm going to say 90% is on them. But there's still a small percentage that you are responsible for in your own makings. I talk about this all the time. And anybody that says that that's not true, they'll lie. I can believe so much for you, but if you don't believe it yourself, the shit ain't gonna work. It's just that simple. It really is. So you have to arm yourself. You have to arm yourself with information. You have to arm yourself. Crazy, Debbie. Oh, well, thank you for liking my zodiac videos. I think all I have to do now is the Sagittarius. I just did the Aries, which I know technically they the first, but they get on my nerves. My ex-best friend used to be a Aries, and she still boss as fuck too. But But she got married, and you know how some of us get married and get husbands and stuff, and we just ain't got time for nobody but our new family. Well, I'm glad I made you feel better. And it's just, that's really what I want you guys to understand too. A lot of my videos is to educate you on how to do it yourself. Everybody want people to do stuff for them, and you got to learn how to do it yourself. And I always tell you guys, start off small. You don't have to be big. That's why it's so important that you really get under somebody, if that's what you want to do, that's going to mentor you and that's going to guide you in the right way. I really believe that now. I'm very thankful for all the mentors that I have had and the mentors that I have now still today, because they always encourage me and they always know how to bring me back in. When I be ready to go all out there, they come on back. They be like, come on back. And everybody need that. Everybody need an accountability partner, even in magic. Okay? I am going to have an apprenticeship or a mentorship. I am going to do that. I'm working on some things now to get that started. So, yeah. Um, yeah. I always believe in freedom of choice. I always believe in free will. I always believe that. I don't push my beliefs on people. I don't push what I think that is right and everybody else wrong. I don't do that. I think that you have to learn for yourself. And if you connect with somebody, trust your energy, trust your feelings. And if you connecting with them and y'all vibing is good, that's great. If you are not, don't spend your money, don't listen to them, go on. It's a lot of people that get off into this the spirituality world. They get off into it and they get connected to the wrong people, and then they give them like a bad taste, and they go through the same thing they do when they in church. I told you guys, I know about church hurt. Church hurt is some deep fucking hurt, because this is a person that you literally have. um Thank you. Thank you, Miss McNair. I love you too. Thank you, baby. I appreciate that. Um, well, thank you for saying I give out great energy. I appreciate it. It's just like I said, like church hurt. These are people that you are entrusting your salvation to. And then they like hurt you. And it's like fucked up. Why do Well, I can't speak. That's the thing. I'm never going to speak for everybody else. I will apply your question to me. What the question is like, why is it that you encourage, pretty much people encourage their clients to do some work? Most of us that do this, we want you to learn how to be confident too. This is a part of your confidence. A lot of people vibrate very low. They have very low vibrational energy because they have low self-esteem, whatever the case may be. People just didn't wore their ass out, and now they just don't talk. All right, thank you, Jojo. They just don't have the confidence level. And so for the stuff, the work, you want to encourage them to do little things or whatever to kind of help their work along. But the practitioner should never put the burden of the spell work on the client, but there should be a small responsibility that the client should have to their own work, even if it's just having great thoughts and learning how to be happy and like stuff like that. Now, if they sending them a box of shit and they need to be cutting chicken hearts out and doing some crazy shit, then that's something different. Know the client, that's you why you pay them. But at the end of the day, a real practitioner wants to encourage you and empower you to be able to be strong to do your own work too. So that's how I'm going to answer that. I can't answer that for other practitioners because I don't know. Quiet as it's kept, we are all not connected on Facebook and YouTube. We have our own things going on and we are not connected at all. We might be sociable with each other as far as speaking on each other's channels and stuff like that. However, However, we are not connected like that, and we all can respect each other in our own personal spaces and, appreciate just because, believe it or not, the way I look at it as many people that's on YouTube that are witches now, they came before me and they really opened the door. Hello. They really opened the door for me to come into it, for me to be able to talk about it. And that's the part that you appreciate, that somebody opened the door for you. That's why it's very, very smart. It's very, very what's the word? It's smart. It's just smart to always be encouraging because you don't know who watching you. And there are baby witches and younger witches that will come after me that will be greater than me. But I always want to have that as my platform. That's just the way that I look at it. Like I said, some of the same people that people say that I'm connected to are people that I was watching when I first came out. Like I was watching Ashira and Priestess Creole Queen and all these other wonderful witches. I was watching them. I might not necessarily agree with some of the practices or some of the things that they say and that they do, but that's me. And I don't have anything to do with them and their gift. Apparently, something's working because they still around. So you have to take what you could take the meat off the bone, and you don't eat bones, you just eat the meat off of it and you go on. And that's what I be wanting y'all to do too. Don't look at me as the end all, the be all, because I'm not. Nobody is. So you have to be smart about stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like y'all will contact me. Y'all done been to everybody I done listed and beyond, and got them trying to get them to do the same thing, the same work for you. When in reality, maybe just maybe that's not meant for you, boo. You know what I'm saying? So y'all be very cognizant of that kind of stuff. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. If you are in a relationship too, and if you're doing all the work and he or she isn't doing all the work, then maybe you don't need to be in that particular relationship. And don't spend no money trying to get him if he ain't gonna be right. You know what I'm saying? And then you guys, I tell you all the time, I always do some reversal stuff, reversal work, reversing anything of your past and generational stuff. Do some, road opening work. Do that before you start doing other things like prosperity work. Because if you haven't moved blocks and stuff like that, the work you do like is in vain. You understand what I'm saying? That's all. And I think if you guys implement what I said as far as doing daily rituals, that will really help you magically. Like, for instance, I always have a ritual of gratitude that I will share with you guys. And I think I've shared it with you before. Why do you only do spell work or love work? I do all kinds of work, baby. Not just love work. My husband kind of says that too. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I appreciate you guys for watching me and following me and growing with me. Some of you guys were with me when I had a fucking 100 subscribers. I never fucking thought that I would be over 20,000. So, I'm excited about that. I from the beginning I've always been very transparent about who I was and what I know and what I don't know. I've always given my best, and I will always continue to give my best on everything. And you guys should strive for the same thing. I'm not any different from anybody else. The only difference that there's between me and some of you guys in here is that you have not connected yet to your divine. That's it. We the same. Are shut up spells considered hexes? Not really. And let me define it. Uh, do I have celebrity clients? I have a couple. I have a couple. Yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I have a couple. But anyway, for someone to shut up, that means they messing with you. And technically, the only reason why you should be doing any type of there are no option on your page. Yes, it is, baby. I don't think that you're reading it correctly. I do more than just love work. I do prosperity work. I also do hexing, humbling, hexing, separation work. It's on there. How do I feel about weed in my spell work? Do what you do. Does your family judge you for being a witch? No. No, they don't. I'm kind of like the matriarch of my family. I'm the one that everybody come to. I'm the one that everybody come to when stuff going wrong, when they need help, whatever. That's kind of me. Oh, thank you. If you want to smoke weed, smoke weed. Hell, that might make you see some more spirits and shit. Hell, some spirits like weed. Oh, thank you, Miss Scarlett. I appreciate that. I think that, it's really important not to have no huge ego. I mean, egos are okay. Everybody have one, but it should not supersede you being able to humble yourself to something greater than you. And I think a lot of people, they kind of miss that part. But I don't. I learned a long time ago not to be like that. A long time ago, a long time ago. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I realized that I hadn't been live in a while. And I was like, man, I need to do that. Have I used mugwort? Yes, I have. You can smoke that too. That helps with your dreams. How long have I been practicing? I've been practicing on and off since I was 15. Probably younger than it. My mom was a practitioner. Do you keep the freezer spell? If you throw it away, it'll be undone. No. I don't really do the freezer spell, but I don't think that that's true. I like to bury a lot of my work. I know some of it you can put it in running water and stuff like that, but I like to bury a lot of my stuff. What type of spells would you start? How do you know when you're ready to? I always say that you should at least be 6 months into 6 months to a year into your work before you really doing like some spell work. Now manifesting stuff, writing petitions, doing like love jars and ammonia jars and stuff like that. I think anybody can do that because that's your sheer will. Um, but like hexing and baneful magic, I will wait. I will wait until you really been doing like some hard studying so that you don't mess up and it backfire. Is demonic possession real? I don't know how to answer that. I don't know how to answer that. It's never happened to me. You can make mugwort into a tea. You can also smoke it too. Is it normal to have a bad dream after you do a spell? I mean, what was you thinking about? You guys have to remember something, and I'm not trying to be funny or anything like that. A lot of negative thoughts and a lot of stuff is in your head. It's in your head. Remember, everybody can't be hexed. Everybody can't be cursed. Everybody can't. What is your take on zombies? Is that a serious question, Jenny? The Bible says when there ain't no more room in hell, they said the dead shall walk the earth. That's what, I was taught. So I guess I think anything's possible. You're talking to somebody that manifests things for people, so anything's possible, you know. Do you know when people are coming against your work? Um, you really should like cloak your work and protect your work. And if you cloak and you protect it and stuff like that, I wouldn't worry about that. I don't. Oh, this is cute. I'm like answering y'all questions and stuff. One thing I will say is never put a ceiling on your work. Never put a cap on your possibilities. Never put a ceiling on what you can do. Like, don't ever fucking do that. Don't ever do that. Can you make someone feel like they're a zombie to control them and do what you want? Not sure if that makes sense, but that only um dominate somebody. Okay, let me tell you this. You can impose somewhat on somebody's free will, but you can't change it. You can manipulate it to get, like, say, for instance, like for love work. I can make him come back, but I can't guarantee that he's going to stay because if that's not what his will is, it won't happen. That's why it's really important that you let people read into your situation or do a consultation because I turn down work for people all the time if I do a consultation with them about love work and I don't really feel like it's going to go in their favor. I will turn them down because I don't want you to waste your money for that. I don't want you spending no $300-400 and shit and the shit ain't what that is. I don't want that. Cause that mean if I take your work, your money and shit, and you have an expectation that you're gonna get them back, and I done seen that I'm not gonna be able to do that, then you gonna worry the shit out of me and everything else, and I ain't got time for this. So I will tell your ass no. What advice would I have for a person who wants to jump ahead first into the craft to hit someone? If you have not been doing this for a year or so, don't. Or at least pay a good spiritual worker to do it for you. And then make sure you have a true, legitimate reason to do it. Because if they haven't really done anything to you, it probably won't work. And then it might backfire on your ass. Well, I mean, remember, guys, you guys should be doing protection work anyway. You understand what I'm saying? You guys should be doing protection work anyway. Whether it's monthly or weekly, you guys should be doing cleansing. You guys should be grounding. You guys should be centering yourselves. If y'all take as much energy in centering and grounding and protecting yourself as y'all do when wanting to fuck somebody else up, y'all probably would be a lot better off. And that is the honest to God truth. A person I know wants to do this, and I have been. They ask, all you responsible for is giving people the information. What they choose to do once they obtained it, baby, that ain't on you no more. And that's the truth. Because people are hard headed. People are very stubborn. They're very set in their ways, and they just want to do whatever the fuck they want to do. All you are responsible for is giving people the information and giving them the pros and cons on what they want to do. So don't feel bad, baby. If they go and do, uh, yeah, you could take them to the wall. That's it. I am so cognizant about the stuff that I teach because I don't want anybody reckless doing it. You know what I'm saying? Can I do a video on a magical journey and what to do to me? I'm writing a book about it. Sure, Diane. That's fine, baby. Oh, I'm investing my protection spray. Thank you. Thank you so much. My protection mist, I do make it myself in my kitchen. Yes, I do. How did I get introduced into magic? Do you pay attention? My mother was a practitioner. That's how I got introduced to it. She's a scared the shit out of me. Some of the stories I could tell. Lord. Does chronic back pain interfere with spell work? I always hear you should feel good, but I rarely do. Um, Maybe the spell work will help you push past that, and maybe it'll give you something else to focus on instead of that. Do you practice any kind of religion? I practice Magical Lady Duchess religion. I love people. I'm compassionate. I read my Bible. I study. I have a good heart. I'm compassionate. Believe it or not, church is within you anyway. Thank you, Snow Baby. I appreciate it. Pastor Stupid. Y'all know I am an ordained minister. Real shit. Do I always use a cauldron? No. No, I don't. Sometimes I burn stuff in jars. I have like this big uh iron pot that I use as a cauldron. It's the old school iron pot. I use it. But I have a little cauldron that I keep on my altar sometimes, or when I'm burning like bay leaves or something like that. I'll use a small cauldron. You don't, I mean, necessarily, as long as you have something that you can, I do. It's cast iron, baby. I'm just saying shit. I got my own religion. Me. I did a blood money spell, although it wasn't easy. Um, Listen, let me tell y'all about this financial spell work and prosperity spell work. It is not just a one-time thing, guys. It is not. Y'all do things one time. Give it okay, this is what I tell people. If I do some prosperity work or something for you, I always tell you to still put your intentions out for the week. This is another ritual. I'm gonna give y'all some little game. Every Sunday, something that I do that I have been doing for a while. Every Sunday, I set out my intentions for the week. If it's how much money I want to make, if it's how I want my husband to prosper, um, any anything that I want to do. If I'm trying to get a house or get a car, if you're looking for a job, if you want your kids to have a good week at school, if you want to have a good day at your job or whatever, if you want to be more productive, every Sunday, what I would do is get you a little jar, a little mason jar, and put your petition in there for your week. Set your intentions for your week. And then put the lid on there and burn a white candle on there and channel that good energy in there, and put your favorite talisman in there, or put you some herbs in there, or put you some crystals in there, write you some sigils on it. Like, you can do stuff like that, and you can feed it weekly, so that gives you something to put your energy into. Because a lot of times when people get spell work, or you do spell work, you think you have to do it one time and then you don't have to do anything else. But sometimes you have to you got to give. And yeah, you can use birthday candles too. Absolutely. Do I have an ancestor altar? Yes. I honor my mother and my father. And I also honor my deity, Isis. And then I also honor Oshun as well. I also honor Shango. Not in the same spots, because you can't put some of them with each other. Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, Shandy, you can't worry about your daddy. What worked for your daddy, work for your daddy. You got to figure out what worked for you. That don't mean that he righting you wrong. It's just that y'all are really trying to obtain the same spirituality. You just using a different method. That's all. Oh, Lord, you in the Netherlands. Still, Shandy, that's him. Y'all can't let other people live y'all life, and y'all can't live other people's life. Y'all better learn that. Put that in y'all spirit. This path is individually based. That's where the solitaire come in at. It's individually based. I love witchcraft in all forms. And I'm not going to stop practicing. Whatever it is that I choose to connect to at that time, whatever it is that calls me, that's what I'm going to do. And I want you guys to do the same. What can I do if I'm unable to have an altar right now for temporary living situation? Um, get you a glass of water because spirits travel through water. Did you guys know that? Spirits travel through water. So get you a glass of water. You can sit it on your bedside table. You can speak intentions to it since you can't do it. Since you can't have an ancestor altar. You can take a picture of all of your ancestors that you know of and you want to honor and stuff. And you can have your little glass of water by there and just have it right there at night and speak to it and maybe put a little piece of cake or candy or whatever next to it. There your altar. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all got to be creative in this. Y'all have to be creative. Bailey, I don't know what your question is, so you would have to tell me. What is it? That's right. You have to have an open mind. You know, you have to be open to understanding and be creative and try different things. This is all about your individuality. You don't have to be like anybody else. This is probably the freest you will ever be in your whole life is when you follow the path. It's the most freeing experience ever. It really, really is. How do you decide what ancestors to honor? Why not all of them? Esther, again, this is individually based. You have to honor your personal ancestors who call to you, who you feel connected to. You should do that. When you take your altar down, how do you discard your offerings such as cake or candy? I I will wrap it in something and I throw it away. That's what I do. Yeah. Don't get too deep with it. Please don't get all deep with it. Well, I do a ceremonial throwaway. No, most times, Kate, when you are first coming into this, there is almost like a downward spiral because your ancestors don't have to have had to have anything to do with magic, baby. Um, because you are disconnecting from everything that you've ever been comfortable with, you know. Maybe you being raised as a Christian and now you're going against what the norm is. And maybe your family feel like they can't do this and they can't do that and um so you feel alone. And that will make you depressed and because you got to find people that relate to you that can feed your energy and feed your spirit and befriend you. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it does be like that. But this path, as I said in the beginning of this path ain't for everybody. It's not. It's only for the strong. But let's be clear. You were chosen for a reason. Everybody that's watching this right now, it's over 120 some people that's watching this right now. Y'all have been through so much already. That's what led you to right where you are. I had a lady ask me yesterday what was her purpose. I said, your purpose is to be right here. Well, what am I supposed to be doing? Dealing with your roots, dealing with all the things that have hurt you, dealing with all the things that have hurt you and taken you away from things that you think that are normal and relearning life, relearning the universe, relearning energy, relearning the connection that you have with the divine. And the divine is God or the goddess, whatever you choose to call it. That's my opinion. Honey, I have had altars everywhere. I hope you guys have enjoyed this live, and I hope that I've given you guys a lot of gems to apply in your life. Um, Mr. or is it Jay Ackerman? Um, the divine, I would do some research and see what calls to you. That's always the first step. Because remember, deities choose you, you don't choose them. What kind of music do I listen to? I listen to everything. I listen to meditation music. I listen to gospel music. I listen to R&B. I listen to some rap. I listen to what makes me feel good. How do you come about the goddess? Like I said, you do research and stuff like that. My goddess came to me when I got in trouble. I about to go to prison like a motherfucker, and I asked for some help, and she showed herself to me. She saved my life. Do I believe in astral travel and projection? Absolutely. Absolutely, I believe in that, Mr. or Miss Payton. You are a little bit worried about being deceived by the spirits, and that means you don't need to be messing with the spirits if you ain't learned them enough on how to use them, especially if you're dealing with trickster spirits. Y'all don't just get up from crawling and then running. Y'all follow the process. Do you choose your goddess? No, my goddess chose me. How did I know? Because I started seeing things and I had to research it to see what I was seeing. I was seeing like wings and stuff in my dreams. She was coming into my dreams and stuff. That's how I knew that Isis wanted to connect to me. Thank you guys so much. Well, I just want to say that I appreciate you guys. I'm going to get off of here. I've been on here almost an hour. I'm going to get off of here and snuggle up with my hubby, and then we're going to get back on the road so I can get home and be in my own bed. Well, I thank you guys for taking the time up with me, and I appreciate every opportunity that you guys give me. I do not, um, I don't take it for granted. I absolutely positively do not. And I appreciate the fact that you guys allow me to speak into your lives. I don't take that for granted. I do not. And you guys shouldn't take anything for granted either. Life is so precious. So, so, so precious. Whatever you've been through, it's not bigger than you. And it's not bigger than where you are today. And it's not bigger than where you will be a year from now. Okay? I love you guys. Thank you, Debbie. That's funny. Yeah, put the collection plate. But I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Keep manifesting. Keep intending. Please use your intentions. Use magic all the time. Don't let it be something that you use when you get in trouble, like it's an ATM. It's very disrespectful to the universe. And it's very disrespectful to the craft.